let's talk gold, because I'm just wondering, as you're saying that, if you are looking to get into some hard assets, are you better off entering it now than when the Fed coin comes along?
It's dirt cheap, and eventually they're going to make it where you can't buy it. I mean, you already see these news stories coming out. The
Yeah.
Russians, they have all these 75 million ounces of gold. I bet you they have way more than that. Oh, they're going to evade sanctions with gold. Therefore, gold is bad. Therefore, if you like gold, you like Russia. You see how this is building up already. So they're going to do this. It's
Yeah.
going to happen. And I have 3 gold dealers in my book. Call any of those gold dealers and tell them that you want a bunch of coins. And they're going to say, I know you're friends with EB, you read his book, but I got to tell you something, guys. There's not a lot of gold right now. So you have to pay a lot of money. What does that tell you? You got to pay this amount to get an actual coin, and you got to pay this amount in the market. Okay, so there's a big problem. Now, personally, this is just me. I like the royalty business because as this becomes reality, I get decades of future gold production valued today. And so I think what's going to happen is you're going to see the royalty companies, not just my company, but the whole business of royalties is going to get incredibly interesting the second half of this year. I think these companies have irreplaceable assets. There's a lot of takeovers going on. If you look, there's been 5 takeovers in the last year in this business. It's not getting any headlines. And these companies are struggling to find new deals. The deals they own are undervalued, and people are buying these companies. And so I think the thing to do, the coins are one thing, okay, but there's a limit to how many coins you need. So the royalties are a way to leverage the future, which I think is going to be a no gold future. Why would the central bank want you to have gold? There's no reason for you to have gold, because then they can't control you. It's a huge problem.
Is that what you mean when you say that gold is under assault?
It's like it's coming from every angle. I mean, if you look at the futures market, you have half a year of gold production sold short in one day when gold breaks over 2,000. That's crazy. Who's doing that? Okay, you have that angle going on. Then you have from the angle of Russia. They say, well, Russia has all the gold. They're terrible. If you have gold, you're with Russia. You see, you're seeing you're never seeing people say that about Bitcoin. They'll never say about Bitcoin, well, the hackers have Bitcoin, so if you have Bitcoin, you're a hacker. They never say that. It's a whole page of positive Bitcoin. It's going to change the world. Got to get some. Got to get all the coins. The coins are coming back. Here's the price prediction. You never see that on gold. So there's a reason they don't want you to have gold.
Aren't you just tired of all the noise, EB?
Well, most of the time, I don't have a television, so I don't have any noise on whatsoever. But once you've done this long enough, it's very easy to see through the clutter. Because if you remember something, everybody out there watching, knows this. Everybody was really upset about Me Too. Everybody was really upset about everybody's life matters. And then you're really upset about all these different movements. And then the COVID, you're at the Whole Foods and somebody's yelling at you about COVID. You get your mask over your nose, and that's all done. Now I went to a Russian restaurant with my kids because I wanted them to eat the Russian food last weekend. They have a giant Ukraine flag. I'm laughing because I'm saying I've been to all these places. It's very funny to see all this because you would never normally see this. It's just
because they're getting attacked.
They're getting attacked.
They're getting attacked.
They have to show that they're virtuous. And
yes.
If you've been to Ukraine and you've been to Russia and you've done business there, you know that it's a very complicated relationship, and it would be very rare to see a Russian restaurant in Moscow with a big Ukraine flag out front. So anyway, my point is, you said to me, do I get tired of the noise? You have to understand that from my perspective, after 20 years of noise, I'm like a person. You ever spend time with your grandparents and they don't really listen to each other? They have it's almost like they have a natural way to tune each other out. That's how I feel, because when I look at this situation, I say, a couple of weeks from now, you'll forget all about this and you'll be upset about the next thing they tell you to be upset about. And so once that goes on for a long time and you can see that, you just tune it out and you try to look for the facts. And the way the facts line up right now is that there's a very small amount of people that are about to make a huge amount of money, okay? And there's a very large amount of people that are somewhat slowly losing most of their money.
Well, if there is transactional wealth happening, and a lot of folks might not know what to do with that wealth.
Well, right. I mean, that's a whole other story. But when you look, I was just with some friends last weekend. They want to know about what's going on in the royalty business, and I explained to them, listen, the gold price goes up $100, $200, $300. The value of 30 years of gold production goes up drastically. And then you look at what's going on with carbon. It's so new, right? So we've already done the work. So we were busy last year building this carbon company, and now we're about to come out to the market, right? And people say, well, That's some hippie stuff right there, but it's not. This is what's going on now, and this you're going to see more and more and more of this going on, and people that get involved are going to be ahead of the curve.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information, and it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.